It's Saturday, 11th December 2021. Good afternoon. Welcome to Midday Live on TV3. We're live from our studios here at Adisawe Kanda in Accra. We're also live on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana and live on 3news.com. My name is Noble Crosby and these are the stories making headlines this afternoon. The Inspector General of Police, George Akufo Dampare, cautions the youth in Yilo and Manyakrobo against being used to perpetrate the interests of some individuals on the impasse over electricity use in the area. Also, the Ghana Water Company embarks on a nationwide maintenance of water treatment plants ahead of the Christmas festivities. We'll take you to the international front, where UK is warning Russia will face severe economic consequences if it invades Ukraine. The details of these stories and more, including sport, entertainment, are coming up shortly. You're welcome to the program. Our first story this afternoon. The Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufo Dampare, has cautioned the youth in the Lower Manya District and the Yilo Krobo municipality to avoid being used to perpetrate some individuals' interest in the ongoing impasse on electricity usage in the area. He noted that the impasse had stayed on for too long with its security implications at Odumase and Somenya, and he pledged to provide a lasting solution. The IGP's visit to the area was to avert further intended planned disruptions of police intelligence had picked up. Now, we met with chiefs of the Yilo and Manyakrobo traditional area before meeting the youth on Friday night.
We came to talk and assess the security issues that has been occasioned by the situation you find yourself. So we brought in more police officers to keep the peace and protect you and your property. We have gone beyond that and looking at what has actually caused the situation that you are experiencing now. We have invited the stakeholders involved. We have engaged your kings. We have engaged your elders. We have engaged the youth at the other side. We are engaging you now. We brought up the people. We brought about the people who are in the center of it. We have engaged them closed door, all because of your interest, just to find solution to it so that we can also de-escalate in terms of our deployment. Some of you are the same people who came to burn our police station. You are the same people who destroyed. You are the same people who patted our people with stones. And because we are over-patriotic, as if we are wood, you touch us and we are still working. We love this country. We love our job. Because we know that God will bless us and bless our children and the generation after us. Because what we are doing is good. If you have a mindset of distraction, stop it. Amen. Because you'll be destroying your own future. If you see somebody who has a mindset of distraction and don't stop it, whatever he destroys will come to affect you yourself. Amen. But if you choose not to stop it, if you choose not to encourage those people who have the mindset to destroy, we will come for them. And we'll come for them at a manner, in a way that nobody will appreciate, but God will. Whichever time you get a line, you have issues and people want to use you. People want to take advantage of you in order to do their own things that will profit them, and you allow yourself. You won't have life again. You won't have light again. This issue of light has been too long. With this security implication, with the challenges that we have gone through in terms of policing over the years, we, myself and my team, want to stop this and stop it in a manner that will maintain the peace and the stability of this area.
So, following the visit of the Inspector General of Police, leaders in the various communities are meeting with stakeholders to find a lasting solution to what is happening in the areas. But for days, residents of the Krobo enclave have seen power cuts due to what the ECG describes as a hijack of its network. The situation is having a toll on business activities and healthcare delivery in the area. Correspondent Yvonne Ikwe has filed this report.
Residents in the Kobo enclave were experiencing erratic supply even before the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, decided to shut down feeders at the bulk supply point since Monday. ECG cited illegal connections and threat to its staff as reasons for the shutdown. The situation is already having an unbearable toll on individuals, businesses and some institutions.
The lights have been off for a month now. We are calling on authorities to intervene to address the challenge for us.
If you buy petrol for your generator a day, you need 100 cedis. But how much money can one make in a day? Please help resolve the issue for us.
As a facility, we are completely paperless. At our OPD, inpatient, every service, including our finances, storage, everything is on a digital platform. And so our generator needs to be on 24/7, and that has cost us financially.
Centers with generators have been overwhelmed with phones to charge at a cost of 2 cedis per phone.
We break down our transformers. We complain severally to ECG. We always come trying to repair, but we didn't yield anything better. And that is the challenge we have. It's very hot here. Our phones are down. We are now planning to get generators and then charge people's phone for them.
Residents are appealing to ECG to reverse its decision. Assemblyman for the Kpong Ahojo electoral area concedes his people have been part of the problem but wants ECG to temper justice with mercy.
But this one is across, so everybody's affected. We called for this. I don't see why people should be attacking the personalities within ECG. I don't see it. We need to all reason up. Let's come to a roundtable discussion.
Recently, some youth group led a demonstration to demand ECG halt an intended installation of prepaid meters and also cancel debts from error meters installed years ago. The irate youth also threatened officials to stop operating from the area. They also demanded that a shooting incident that occurred in previous demonstrations years ago be investigated and victims compensated. The ECG has meanwhile moved its office from Somanya to Japon in the Volta region for the safety of their workers.
You're sure to stick and stay with TV3 as we bring you updates in the meeting of leaders of the various communities and other stakeholders. But let's move on and do some politics-related stories where the New Patriotic Party has banned its members from campaigning for individual aspiring for executive positions and parliamentary as well as presidential aspirants at the upcoming National Annual Delegates Conference. In a press release signed by the Director of Communications, Yabo Abinyasamo, the party stated that though they cherish the competition, the conference is a time of renewal aimed at enhancing the party's unity, adding that no billboards and or signboards, banners or any kind of outdoor signage with the images and or names of individual members with or without the consent of the individual shall be acceptable. It says this applies to the area within the Greater Kumasi metropolis where the annual conference will be held. All such displays, if put up already, should be removed. It revealed that persons whose image or their images are found and flaunted on any advocacy material with or without their consent and do not take the steps to ensure the public desists from such acts runs a higher risk of disqualification in the event nominations are declared open. Right, let's speak with Nana Obri Boahen, is the NPP Deputy General Secretary, for more on this. So we're grateful for your time with us on Midday Live. You have banned your members from advocating for individual aspirants, parliamentary and presidential, at the upcoming National Annual Delegates Conference. Is this veto or ban only limited to the event, and can members continue afterwards? If you can hear me, Nana, what I'm asking is, can members of your party continue exhibiting the support for individual members or delegates after the conference? Hello, Nana, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello.
Great. What I'm asking is, following the veto you have issued on your members not to, publicly campaign for national delegates or aspiring candidates in your party, is this veto limited to only the annual delegates conference? Can the members go back to these overt or the covert campaigns afterwards?
Oh, rules and regulations governing every society, governing every group of people. To that extent, the rules and regulations which we have fashioned out will be the rules and regulations all throughout. We are going for the National Annual Delegates Conference, and that will be the climax of the activities which would usher in the elections for the polling station executives, constituency executives, regional executives, and national executives. And that will follow with the presidential primaries.
Now, you were very specific about the locations in your release. Does that suggest that the party is okay with the subtle or the outward, campaigns ongoing?
Certainly. See, there are some issues or some situations you will find it extremely difficult to control. So it doesn't mean that the party is happy about some of these situations. For instance, before you get to Ashanti region, you move from Eastern region.
Right.
Imagine somebody's on the roadside wearing the T-shirt of an aspirant. Can you control that individual? You cannot. From Afo, you enter Ashanti region. Imagine somebody holding an effigy of an aspirant. Can you control that one? You cannot.
Okay.
So honestly, you cannot avoid dramatization in politics. Inevitably, you cannot avoid dramatization in politics. So we have settled categorically that these are the rules and the regulations.
But how will you ensure that this is done? What possible?
It's difficult to control.
Okay. So in the face of that, how will you ensure that this is done, and what sanctions or punishments will be for members? What will they be subjected to if they flout this order targeting the locations you specified in your release?
The NPP as a party has a constitution, rules and regulations beautifully captured in the party's constitution. So you just go back to the party's constitution, the modalities, the processes, the procedures, and then the conclusion.
Okay.
They are all there, beautifully captured in the party's constitution.
Right. Now, what I'm asking is not for the delegates wanting to be captured on various portfolios of the NPP, the members who are exhibiting their support for these delegates.
Yeah, I'm saying that the rules and regulations are beautifully captured in the Constitution. And the rules and regulations are not meant for the aspirants. They are sympathizers, they are supporters, they are activists. They are the rules and the regulations.
Okay. So after the annual delegates conference, which is happening soon, what are the next steps for the party?
Then it means that after 20 years, then it means that the floodgate is open for constituency elections, polling station elections, and we'll be going for NEC on Wednesday.
Okay.
And I can assure you that after, even in course of the next meeting on Wednesday, the subsequent modalities will be discussed. I am pretty sure that the next meeting on Wednesday will come out with modalities after 20th Wednesday. The modalities will be discussed.
Right.
So I am pretty sure after the meeting on the 20th, the whole world will hear of us, of our election calendar.
Nana, I would like to thank you so much, Anobi Boahen, as the Deputy General Secretary of the NPP.
A pleasure talking to you.
Let's move on and do some other stories where spokesperson for the Ministry of Education, Kwesi Kwarteng, has attributed the postponement of the National Standardized Test from November to December to the disruptions in the education calendar created by the COVID-19 pandemic. He says it would have mounted an unnecessary tension on teachers and pupils participating. He spoke on TV3 Current Affairs program Key Points.
Nobody is saying that when it comes to the conduct or the implementation of the NSAT, everything or every preparation is probably 100%. Even if you look at our educational system, we've had systemic problems with it. It is not a perfect system or perfect institution. And that is the more reason why we will continue to address the challenges that we are faced with. So Dr. Park raised a point about the fact that why are we not conducting the exams in the schools? You see, let us know this. First of all, the exams is not for the purposes of grading. Neither is it promotional. It's just to assess the performance of the students so that we'll know where students are weak, where students are strong. And at the end of the day, the data that we will generate, we'll be able to know the learning gaps. And then it guides us in making policy decisions at the end of the day and whatever interventions and resource allocations that will go. There is that tendency, right, especially when you leave it for the schools to administer the exams at the various level, to compete among themselves. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, there is that tendency and that thought that, well, we did not do well. And if you do not take care, there is a possibility of compromising on the supervision. It's just about getting that neutral environment where you know that, I mean, whatever internal factors or environment that could have some way, somehow affected the results is negated. That is exactly what we are seeking to do. Again, the result or the exams is of a national significance. And of course, I mean, you want to assess them through some way, somehow, an external model, so that you are able to get the real and the genuine data. Why will you also probably conduct it at their end?
So the Ministry of Education has been criticized for not following recommendations made about how to go about the maiden national standardized test for basic 4 pupils and how it should be conducted. Now, the test will be written by more than 500,000 students. It will be written outside the schools at specific external centers. But speaking on TV3 Key Point, the Executive Director for the Institute of Education Studies, IFES, Peter Pate-Anti, says this is not in line with recommendations made by WAEC, which is conducting the exam on behalf of NACA.
WAEC did a report and they submitted to the ministry. And in that report, they told them that even conducting the exams in a cluster base was problematic. These were the things that WAEC told the ministry. He says that 1, the issue of proximity of schools or home and exam centers should be looked at. The security of the learners in the event that they will be transported, who pays for the transport? Anxiety level of learners due to change of the learning environment.
Exactly.
And other issues that were raised. At the same time, they told them that the team had to spend close to 1 hour to provide orientation for the students before administering the test, which would therefore mean that they would need a lot of time to be able to even understand the test. Now, you're putting these kids in a big hall, a cluster-based kind of examination with the supervisor who is supposed to supervise the exams. These kids needs an environment, because as I said, this is not a high-stakes test. It's a diagnostic test, just to diagnose. So the kid needs to be so comfortable in wherever he or she is, so that he or she will appreciate the things that are being given to him or her, and then he or she will respond to in the same manner. You are not doing that. The original import of this test is supposed to be a school-based test. You are not doing that simply because you are not adequately prepared. You see, we wanted to do this for basic 2, basic 4, basic 6. The minister said, let's do it for basic 4. We all agreed. Now, looking at your preparation level, all that you could have done was, look, let us now shift it to next academic year so that we can even have the comprehensive test, which is the school-based test for basic 2, basic 4, and then basic 6. We get the needed information that we need in order that we'll be able to make changes to our curriculum, because this test technically is to validate the competencies that these kids are supposed to imbibe at that level. Now, if you do it in a rush, like you people want to do it now, what is going to happen is that you are going to have a result that you'll be happy with or you'll not be happy with, but that will not be the actual situation on the ground. The validity of the results of these exams will be suspect and cannot be used for any policy decision. That is what you people have to understand. That's why I started by saying that this is about the system and not about somebody in the ministry or somebody at GES. Let me even show you further that even in that report, the status report submitted to the ministry, in that meeting that was even chaired by the Deputy Minister of Education, GES raised reservations about the conduct and proposed postponement. Why would the implementation agency of the Ministry of Education, which is the Ghana Education Service, even raise reservations about the conduct in terms of the format that they have chosen and would propose for a postponement? WAEC.
So as the conversation continues, we take you to the East Gonja municipality of the Savannah region, where parents are expressing mixed reactions as a result of their Basic 4 examination, their national standardized test. Christopher Marco brought us in.
The Ghana Education Service announced that basic level 4 pupils will be writing a standardized test on the 17th of this month. So this is still keeping these pupils in their various schools. However, there has been some mixed reactions amongst parents following this directive or announcement by the Ghana Education Service. Here in the East Gonja municipality, I have been engaging some parents on what they make of the announcement or directive by the Ghana Education Service. I
am applauding the GS for the initiative taken, but if people are saying that the children are not ready, what is the importance of learning if they are not writing exams?
Minim say enkwara omo be year na omo school ni na twe and teacher ni be asking the questions e see Ghana fe the way there omo say Ghana nyina santre sanso hwe and say class 4 ona me din kaka ne ba wa bon.
I don't believe in what the government is saying because we don't have good teachers in the village as compared to the city.
Prepared. That's a word today. No one pass here. And it's so no model about it. It's a sad model bedje. Yami ni crane. So because me as parents manage one meboa.
They are not prepared. And secondly, they don't have the textbooks, other books that will guide them to write the exams. So I don't see any sense in it for them to write the exams. And thirdly, they're supposed to be on vacation and we are asking them to stay back on 17th again. So what is the essence of doing that?
Away from that story, the Ghana Water Company Limited will from today, Saturday, December 11, embark on a nationwide maintenance of its water treatment plants ahead of the Christmas festivities. Public Relations Officer Stanley Mate is confident of constant water supply despite the challenge of access to raw water from rivers in some regions.
The Ghana Water Company supplies potable water to more than half of the country's population. The state agency depends on more than 10 river sources and dams for raw water for treatment. However, some of these water sources have heavily been polluted through illegal mining activities, compelling the nation's major water supplier to spend more on water treatment. As of December 1 this year, customers were indebted to the service provider in excess of 500,000 cedis. The company has scheduled Saturday, December 11 for maintenance work on all its water treatment plants across the country, which will be completed in a week. Stanley Mate speaks for the Ghana Water Company.
Every treatment plant for the Ghana Water Company Limited will have to undergo some maintenance schedule from this weekend. And hopefully by next weekend, all maintenance programs must end, and they will be monitoring the system. All resources that the regions need to enable them go through this maintenance program prior to the season have been provided.
He explains apart from the Densu and Volta rivers, which support full water provision, water sources in other regions are challenged.
Some of our treatment plants are producing about 50% capacity. The 50% capacity is not enough for the population in those regions. So if we do not get good quality raw water to improve on production, to increase it to about 70-80%, then there wouldn't be enough. We are going to start the dredging of our basin so that we can have more water in the reservoir, in the dam, for treatment. So that begins any moment from now.
The water service provider has served notice to go tough on defaulting customers during the festive period. Communities not covered by Ghana Water Company would have to depend on other water sources for their chores. In northern Ghana, access to potable water is a dire situation as most water bodies are fast drying due to the impact of climate change.
Now, the Food and Drugs Authority will commence the implementation of guidelines to restrict the volume and the quantity of products that will qualify as personal effects before entry at the port from January next year. The regulator aims at preventing high-risk products imported under the guise of personal effects from being cleared and sold on the open market.
The FDA is clamping down on the practice where products meant for commercial purposes are shipped in drums and other receptacles. Freight consolidators, popularly referred to as door-to-door operators, clear the products at the ports under the guise of personal effects. The practice is in contravention to the Public Health Act, Act 851.
What the problem is with consolidated and personal effect is that we find that all sorts of regulated products are hidden there and brought into the country, not for personal use, but they end up on the shelves of shops, supermarkets, and pharmacies. This meeting is to ask all the importing public, the freight forwarding fraternity, to look at what they want to bring in. Let FDA know way ahead before they bring it in. When we know way ahead, then we can register. Registered products are a sign that FDA is satisfied with its safety and quality.
The FDA, at an engagement with stakeholders in Tema, noted the guidelines define the threshold of volumes and quantities of food items, household products, medication and devices allowed into the country as personal effects.
The authority has defined personal effects as products for your own use and use only, not for commercial. Personal effects in terms of medicine is what you need for your 90-day supply and nothing else. It is not a suitcase full of medicines that you have brought on with you and you are calling personal effect. No, at this meeting we have defined that.
A section of freight forwarders present agreed the move will prevent importers from invading the Ghanaian markets with potentially harmful products.
This time even the FDA man has said that the registration price has cut down, and at the same time the process is not too cumbersome as some years ago. Now it has been simplified, and within a short time, less than 3 months, it can be done. So I believe, whereas the thing is being done quickly, then it will stop all those corner ways of getting your way through.
But it's up to us to engage our importers, because normally they don't like paying extra something. But since they are saying that you can register for 3 years, I think we're cool with it.
The FDA's Center for Import and Export Control, in accordance with Customs Law Section 107, has declared a zero tolerance for unregistered imported products policy to ensure that all FDA-regulated products imported into the country are registered prior to clearance for trade and consumption. For TV3 News, Nancy Vokania, Tema.
You're watching Midday Live on TV3. My name is Noble Crosby, and we're also live on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana. Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories. Don't go away.
Are you ready for a night of intense worship and anointed music? A night to experience the hand of God? Yes! Joe Beecham Ministries presents the Yonder Worship Sacrifice, celebrating 25 years of Pastor Joe Beecham's active ministry.
Hello, my name is Joe Beecham, and I want to invite you to Yonder Worship Sacrifice on the 12th of December at 5 p.m. at the First Love Church near UPSA. I will be joined by the Daughters of Glorious Jesus, MOG, Koda, Uncle Ato, Same Spirit. Come broken and live fixed. Come happy and live liberated. God said sacrifice. Abraham said worship. God bless you. It's free entry.
This event is powered by Limehouse Solutions.
A serene environment, state-of-the-art teaching and learning materials, dedicated teachers, small class sizes, and world-class facilities define the excellence at Startright Montessori and Christian College.
It's a very nice school and I really love it.
The Montessori primary, junior high school, and senior high school levels offers a world-class educational experience.
Looking to choose a school for your ward? Choose right. Choose soft skills. Choose Startright.
We also run international programs such as the Cambridge O and A levels. We have boarding facilities as well with spacious dormitories. Locate Startright Montessori and Christian College on the Startright Lane off Fanny Road, New Botiano. Call us on 0244 098881 or 0244 522 350 or visit our website at www.scc.edu.gh.
I invite you to bring your ward to Startright Montessori School and Startright Christian College.
Startright Montessori and Christian College, the best world-class education experience in Ghana.
I'm on a mission to find my African love. See, I get a vision to find my African love. If you're out there, come drop my shit up. If you're out there, I thought you one for the picture.
Sometimes you just know that something ain't going good. You say to yourself, this ain't working for me. There be no shame in that, man.
Like when you don't got it?
Yeah, man, I mean, being smart means knowing when to stop. Know your limit.
So like knowing when to stop? Yeah, makes sense.
If it's not fun, choose to stop.
This advertisement is brought to you by Bet Power.
This Sunday on Mentor X, our remaining 7 contestants are going to treat us to a double dose of entertainment on the throwback episode. Apart from their individual performances, their collaborative proficiencies will be tested further as they are paired with past contestants from previous editions of TV3 Mentor. It promises to be an explosive episode this Sunday at 8 p.m. right here on TV3. Keep voting your contestant's name on the short code *713*13# to keep their chances of winning the competition alive, or download the TV3 reality app and vote. Mentor X, discovering the next global icon. TV3 Mentor takes you higher.
Mentor X is brought to you by Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil, and Napa Foods, Sense Body Spray,
Club,
Better Malt, Tom Vita, Close Up, Geisha, Drugnet,
Cowbell, our milk.
Welcome back to the program. Chief Fisherman of British Commander Nana Akufo-Addo II says the sea defense project in the area is posing danger to their work. It discloses that 15 recently donated outboard motors by government have been destroyed by the stones.
According to the chief fisherman, The landing site was reduced during the construction of the 5-kilometer sea defense by Amandi Construction Company. The main canal leading to the landing site has also been reduced, and the growing number of operating canoes in the area, which is now about 250, poses a major risk to the fishermen. He says even though the authorities were notified during the construction stage, their suggestions were not considered. Nana Kojombia the second discloses 15 outboard motors recently given to them by government have been destroyed by the stones at the London site.
Before the work started, we requested the entryway out of the water to be left bare so that we can cross easily, but they did not listen to us. And now the entire landed site is blocked with the rocks, creating a difficulty for us. The consultant of the job has also ignored our plea.
The project, which started a year ago, is expected to be completed by next year.
Now, the French government and its partners have earmarked 75 million euros to support startups and micro, small and medium enterprises in Ghana. The partnership is under the Choose Africa initiative aimed at helping grow Ghana's domestic direct investment.
The project acknowledges the role of small and medium-scale enterprises, MSMEs, which represents more than 85% of businesses and contributes 70% of Ghana's gross domestic product.
At the moment, directed 75 million, but if we have amazing projects, we can use more. When there is a very good project, well pitched, with a clear business plan, where the due diligence are convincing, well, then you can always find money, because you can blend capitals from us, but also from other people. So there's no limit.
Chief Executive of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Yofi Grant, underscored the need for MSMEs to adopt best practices to pitch projects to investors and bankers.
And this is a vehicle that will use 1 billion cedis to create 1 million jobs in 3 years under the Ghana Cares project. The Use That project will support small, young entrepreneurs to gain access to capital, training.
A young entrepreneur and participant called on government to set aside specialized funds for startups in the technological business space.
What must happen is for government to de-risk, investment for other investors as well. We want to invest in technology companies. There's a venture capital trust fund by the government, but we must have a program that deliberately supports our co-invest with traditional investors or venture capital investors.
The partnership was between the French Embassy, InnoHub and Ghana Investment Promotion Center.
Now, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority says it is confident of achieving its 10% year revenue target of $2.5 billion from non-traditional export by 2029. CEO of the agency, Dr. Ifuasa Biasari, maintains the target will not be reviewed despite revenue shortfalls in the last 2 years.
The $2.5 billion target is being implemented through the National Export Development Strategy, NETS, which aims to achieve substantial increase in the manufactured goods and services component of Ghana's exports. The authority raked in $2.8 billion in the targeted $3 billion for 2020, attributed to the impact of COVID-19 on export trade and increasing freight cost. However, the authority says the target will not be reviewed.
I don't think the ministry is going to review it downwards or review it upwards, because it was already an ambitious target anyway. We are going to work hard and keep on doing what we are doing and do the interventions. We know that we will recover, just as we did put measures in place to the extent that the dip wasn't so bad. We think that we will keep on working hard to increase. Now everybody is digitizing. So we are looking at different ways of doing things. We will not stick to the traditional way of doing things and miss out.
Ghana's non-traditional products were exported to 152 countries, with Burkina Faso being the leading destination among ECOWAS countries. Exporters were concerned freight charges increased over the period.
Whilst we are recovering, we are building the capacity of our exporters such that by the time that everything will be okay by way of the COVID, you see that our exporters have built their capacity, they have learnt a lot, they have redefined their products and services, and we will even get the opportunity to send better goods and products out there.
Ghana's national traditional export sector comprises 4 sub-sectors, including agriculture, handicrafts and manufacturing. The manufacturing sector led exports with 83.7% in 2020.
You're watching Midday Live. Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you more on news of the Black Stars as well as elections of the Football Association in Cameroon in sports. Stay with us.
So, it's just the 2 of us. Can't beat this.
Beat this?
Oh, hey.
You can't beat the Champions League,
Europa League, La Liga, Serie A,
and the Premier League.
All 380 matches of it, with its own dedicated Super Sport channel, my G.
Get a HD decoder, dish kit, and 1 month of DSTV access for only 169 Ghanaian cedis.
Abu da sofa wala ku gari aka munafikin TV alhaji muntaka mala abubakar alhaji abu da sofa abu munafikin TV na tun fadi maka bari batun TV ga TV kana son TV mai kyau sai da Franco TV gaskiya na samu mai kyau ko aba wanda aka ba da garanti abba ita kin fada mu dan tsoron sai wala muje Nanin gida. Ga TV. Wannan 55. Allah ya sanar da sanu kali. Kaga 55 nga.
3022575533 and I said 0546133188 from.
Are you ready for a night of intense worship and anointed music? A night to experience the hand of God? Yes! Joe Beecham Ministries presents the Yonder Worship Sacrifice, celebrating 25 years of Pastor Joe Beecham's active ministry.
Hello, my name is Joe Beecham, and I want to invite you to Yonder Worship Sacrifice on the 12th of December at 5 p.m. at the First Love Church near UPSA. I will be joined by the Daughters of Glorious Jesus, MOG, Koda, Uncle Ato, Same Spirit. Come broken and live fixed. Come happy and live liberated. God said sacrifice. Abraham said worship. God bless you. It's free entry.
This event is powered by Limehouse Solutions.
Saturday on Music.
The place is on fire!
Applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Unsigned Hype.
Charlie, this year, everywhere you go, more than the MTN. Rapid the 24/7 and over the ATM. But this year, I'm about to come and dating a sister. Oh, madam, and a sister, or the second you to try the picture.
Yeah, a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Tick.
Shorty, go away.
See, one thing with me is I believe I'm here to stay for a very long time. People don't get it, you know, like I've been doing this for 2 decades already.
If you want me to fall, hey, never ever take on hey, hey, I will never ever, hey, come on, I will never, hey.
Music shows every Saturday at 8 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
One of the only women in Ghana teaching the right way to talk, to walk, and also, as she calls it, BMW, to dine the right way.
I set up a Leo, starting in a living room and just having a desire to look at the other woman and say, you're beautiful. I remember people used to call my mom an angel. Her skin, that was beautiful, that was angelic, was beginning to change because she had applied the wrong product. The desire, the push for the fact that I need to look like this. We have to stop.
My name is Davina Sheila Mensah. I'm working as an executive assistant. It's not easy putting multitasking. With my experience with business, before you start business, make sure you have passion for it. That is what will make you stay in business, else you give up.
Yes, go ahead. I use this code BMW. So you find bread is always on your left.
Okay.
The meal is always in the middle, and your water or your drink would always be on the right.
On the right.
So BMW.
I like that.
Today's Woman shows Sundays at 3 p.m. and repeat Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on TV3.
This Sunday on Mentor X, our remaining 7 contestants are going to treat us to a double dose of entertainment on the throwback episode. Apart from their individual performances, their collaborative proficiencies will be tested further as they are paired with past contestants from previous editions of TV3 Mentor. It promises to be an explosive episode this Sunday at 8 p.m. right here on TV3. Keep voting your contestant's name on the short code *713*13# to keep their chances of winning the competition alive, or download the TVP reality app and vote. Mentor X, discovering the next global icon. TV3 Mentor takes you higher.
We're just gonna take you down. Mentor X is brought to you by Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil, and Napa Foods Sense Body Spray,
Club,
Better Malt, Tom Vita, Close Up, Geisha, Drugnet,
Cowbell, our milk.
This Saturday on Music, the place is on fire! Hey! Some applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Unsigned Hype.
Charlie, this year, everywhere you go, more than the MTN. Rapid the 24/7 and mobile the ATM.
But this year, I'm about to come and date in sister. Oh, madam and a sister, or the second that you tell me the picture.
Yeah, a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Tick.
Shorty, go away. Mejemu, no more, sister. Oh,
See, one thing with me is I believe I'm here to stay for a very long time. People don't get it, you know, like I've been doing this for 2 decades already.
If you want me to fall, hey, never ever take on hey, I will never ever fall. Come on, I will never fall.
Music shows every Saturday at 8 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Good afternoon, let's have some sports on MedLive. My name is Kelvin Oswansa. The Black Stars of Ghana will open camp in Doha, Qatar on Wednesday, December 22, 2021, ahead of the 33rd edition of the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon. The team will be in Doha for a period of 3 weeks to prepare for the tournament scheduled for Cameroon from January 9 to February 7, 2022. Ghana are expected to play a yet-to-be-named club on Tuesday, December 28, before taking on one of the Africa Cup of Nations qualified teams on Friday, 1st January 2022, in another friendly. The team will wrap up their test matches against African champions Algeria on Wednesday, January 5, 2022. Now the Black Stars will depart Doha for Yaoundé on Friday, 7 January, to take on the rest of Africa at the 2022 Africa Cup of Nations. Head coach Milovan Rajevac has until Friday, 30th December, to submit his final squad for the tournament. Ghana are housed in Group C with Morocco, Gabon, and Comoros. Now, the Onia Sports Community Gala kicked off on Friday with 8 teams taking on each other for the ultimate prize and the bragging right. After match day 1, we settled for the semi-finals with 2 teams, Labadi and Choco. Labadi beating Choco by a goal to nil to move into the finals on the second day at the Fadama AstroTurf. Currently ongoing is the game between Ashaima and then Fadam. So that is the goal that separated the two sides between that is Labadi and then Choco. So Fadama and Ashaima are also looking forward to book the final ticket for the final, which will be played later today. Now to some elections in Cameroon, and the Fecafoot presidency is being held in Cameroon, and Samuel Eto'o is in the run to become the boss of the federation. The 4-time CAF Footballer of the Year winner continues to convince the former players and other top officials in order to have their support for him to become the next Cameroon FA president. He's currently coming up against incumbent, that is Seydou Njoyo, who is now the FA president. Well, his chances are that he could probably become like Antoine Bell, who emerged as one of the footballers who rose high into a top football administration role. Now to some boxing news, and this evening Richard Comey would be coming up against Vasily Lomachenko and is coming up in New York. They challenge each other for the opportunity to stand in pole position for the division's title next year against George Kambosos Jr. of Australia. Now both lost their prize to one-man Teofimo Lopez in 2020 and look forward to climbing up the boxing ladder again.
Losing in boxing is it's part of boxing and parcel of it. So regardless of how you lost, it's all about coming back. And whatever happened with Teofimo fight, it is what it is, and I take it as a man. And the reason why I'm sitting right here. So it is what it is. Saturday we're gonna see.
I'm very excited because it's a next step of my boxing career, and like I said, it will be very, very interesting for fans fight.
With a rich experience of 30 wins, 3 losses and 27 knockouts, Richard Zonto Comey will be mounting the ring, hoping to use power punching against the speedster and skillful Vasily Lomachenko. But 15 fights, 2 losses and 11 knockouts is enough for Vasily Lomachenko, who will be using his all-round boxing skills to his advantage.
Yeah, I'm very excited. The last time went well great for me. So, God being so good, I've got the opportunity to, right or wrong.
So I can wait Saturday night. And thank you, Comey. You are a strong fighter. I think we give a very interesting fight for fans.
Pundits are somehow divided over the outcome on Saturday night, and the two boxers know it will not be an easy task.
I've got the whole of my country behind me. I've got myself, and I've got all the little children back home who really want to get to where I am. And I'm coming. I know it's not an easy fight, but I'm coming.
Yeah. I said before, he has a big power, he has a reach, and he has experience, and he has a big heart, very hard.
The two boxers few minutes before news time mounted the scales, with Lomachenko weighing 0.4 heavier than Kome, who weighed 134 pounds.
I got my heart, my God, my everything, my team. You know, I'm coming. I'm coming to put up a good show.
Sure, I'm ready. Now I'm ready. I'm 100%.
With recent happenings in the 135 pounds division, the winner of Saturday night will have no room for celebration if he must regain the top spot.
Now back to our earlier story in the FECAFOOT presidency. Well, Ben Emmanuel has joined us from Cameroon. Well, Emmanuel, if you can hear me, what is the situation like and the chances of Samuel Eto'o to become the president of the Cameroonian Football Association? Hello, Emmanuel. Hello. Yes, I can hear you now, Emmanuel.
Election has to vote a new president and executive committee members into the football governing body. And as we speak right now, the elections are currently ongoing.
Well, that's the for sports this afternoon. My name is Kelvin Owusu-Ansah. Crosby, hopefully Kome can get himself a very good opportunity.
We all hope he wins,
Yeah,
though. We'll see what happens.
Next, yeah.
Thanks for coming. Thank you. That was Kelvin for sports. Up next is the latest on the international front.
UK's Foreign Secretary has warned Russia it will face severe economic consequences if it invades Ukraine. She said G7 foreign ministers meeting in Liverpool this weekend would put on a show of unity and make clear such a move would be a strategic mistake. She said the UK and its allies had to deter Russia from taking that course of action. Tensions are growing as Moscow amasses troops on Ukraine's border, but the Kremlin has denied it plans to invade. Reiterating previous warnings from the US and its allies, she said the G7 are going to absolutely be strong in our stance against aggression with respect to Ukraine. Ukraine shares borders with both the EU and Russia, but as a former Soviet republic, it has deep social and cultural ties with Russia. However, Russia has accused Ukraine of provocation and sought guarantees against eastward NATO expansion and deployment of weapons close to its border. Ahead of the G7 meeting, she held talks with Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba in London. Talks are continuing in Vienna to restore Iran's 2015 nuclear deal with world powers, but a final agreement still appears elusive as Iran and the West have varying views on the path forward. After a week-long pause, representatives of Iran, China, Russia, the United Kingdom, France and Germany reconvened in the Austrian capital to resume their seventh round of talks on Thursday. Robert Malley, the top representative of the United States, which unilaterally abandoned the accord in 2018, imposing sanctions on Iran, is expected to lead a delegation in Vienna this weekend. Iran still refuses to meet the US directly since its withdrawal from the deal, formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, even as President Joe Biden says he wants it restored. A breakthrough in the talks does not yet appear in the sight as differences remain on two texts Iran proposed last week, one on lifting the sanctions and the other on the steps Iran needs to take to scale back its nuclear program that has significantly advanced since 2019. At least 50 people are likely dead after a tornado hit southwestern Kentucky late Friday, according to Governor Andy Beshear. Most of the destruction centered on Graves County, he said, including the town of Mayfield. The tornado was one of a multitude spawned in the overnight hours Friday as a line of powerful storms ripped through the central US. The governor said 2 tractor trailers filled with water are headed to Mayfield to make sure people have usable water to drink. Beshear had declared a state of emergency overnight, deploying the National Guard. At least 24 tornadoes are reported across 5 states: Arkansas, Illinois, Kentucky, Missouri, and Tennessee. According to the NOAA Storm Prediction Center, with officials in Arkansas saying that at least 2 people had died, and the potential for more severe weather continues over the weekend as the system moves east, stretching from northern Louisiana up to southern Ohio early Saturday. Tornado watches in the region are expected.
Well, before we go, you're reminded that in entertainment news, actress Jackie Appiah has made some donations of boreholes to some communities. We bring you that story in a subsequent bulletins. But that's it for our package this afternoon. We came to you from our news sub studios here at Adesawe Kada in Accra. We're also live on all our social media platforms. My name is Noble Crosby, and on behalf of the entire production team, thank you so much for watching the program and enjoy the afternoon. Bye-bye.